Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with something very, very different. Yes, the Unnamed Motorsport podcast returns for episode 27. Of course, the Mexican Grand Prix this weekend, obviously, well, we might do a little bit of a preview of that. But today, we're going to be going through now. Over the last week or so, I've been running a poll on this YouTube channel where I've been going through my driver of the year so far, obviously letting you guys vote. But today, Jamie and I are going to jump in with a classic F1 2021 tier list. So, of course, we have got all the drivers ready for this one. Obviously, we've got S at the top, A, B, C, and D. Of course, if you don't know how a tier list works, then I'm very, very worried.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jamie, before we get into it, though, how are we feeling, mate?
I'm good, yeah. I'm surprised it's taken us this long to do a tier list, because it's the most unoriginal thing you can ever do. But
Exactly.
apart from that,
we're
ready
really
to go.
scraping the barrel.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But before we get into this though, Jamie, obviously Mexican Grand Prix this weekend. How excited are we for it?
I'm looking forward to it as a Red Bull Max fan, so it should be quite good. He's
should
usually
be
quite good there.
And I was going to say, it should be an absolute just...
Whitewash. Red Bull 1-2.
Yeah, it should be complete domination from Red Bull this weekend. I mean, the only track, weirdly enough, like the best track as a reference point is Monaco.
Really?
In many ways, yeah,
Spielberg's
because you
quite
run
high up
Monaco
as well.
levels. It's nothing
It's
like
nothing like Mexico.
Mexico. No, Mexico's 3 times higher. It's insane, isn't it? When you think Mexico is twice anywhere in the UK, apart from Ben Nevis.
But you can't have a racetrack up there, so.
No, exactly. You can't put a racetrack on Ben Nevis.
On the top of a mountain, that wouldn't be a great idea.
But yeah, so moving into the tier list though, Jamie, where do we want to start? Right, first of all, do we want to change any of the names for this? Or do we think S, A, B, C, D
I reckon
is
it's a
good?
safe bet.
Don't need like an F or a get out of the sport or anything like that.
You could have a pay driver column at the bottom.
Are we going to have a pay driver column at the bottom?
Go for it.
Or should that be reserved for Formula E and pay driver be just above?
Yeah, I could put Formula E underneath. That's a good idea.
Formula E at the bottom, pay driver just above.
That's very harsh on the Formula E drivers, especially as...
Exactly.
Actually, no, Hulk's going to IndyCar. It's calm.
Is Hulk going IndyCar?
Well, you had a test last week, so yeah.
Oh yeah, he didn't he?
McLaren driver next year.
Perhaps there was actually content we could have made this week rather than just going through basic ideas. Right, how are we doing this then? How are we going to start? Are we just going through the list, or are we doing it a different way?
Reverse championship order.
Reverse championship order?
Actually, is that a good idea? I mean, some of them are so predictable. There's going to be no discussion about some of these at all.
Right, I'm going to ask you, Jamie, completely off the top of my head, pick a number between 1 and 20.
14.
14. We're going to go 14 from last. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Already an interesting one.
Is that Ricciardo? Yes.
It's Ricciardo.
That's difficult.
Very
That's really difficult.
Are we putting it just on this year? Or
I think you can take into account
It's this year, surely. No, I think
just
this year, surely. Just this year.
I would, straight off the bat, say B. I feel like that might be a little harsh.
I was honestly going to go, based on this year alone, Ricciardo has been the uncut energy of pay driver.
No way.
Nowhere near his teammate all year, and is there... Well, he's there for the money, so he's like the anti-pay driver.
He's got a win.
In the most lucky way. Esteban Ocon's got a win.
Since the summer break, Ricciardo's got more points than Norris.
Because he won that one race.
No, and then in Russia, Norris bottled it, and Ricciardo finished 4th.
Yes, yeah, there was that as well.
I think.
Are you sure that's an accurate stat?
I think that's accurate.
I'm
pretty sure. And he beat Ricciardo at USA. He beat Norris at USA as well.
He has been better the last couple of weekends. I'll give you that.
I think pay driver's harsh. I would go B for Ricciardo. There's plenty of drivers worse than him.
Because he did actually pretty well at Cota, he just sneaks up into B to kickstart this thing.
Stick it in the middle.
Okay, right, Jamie.
We're not doing numbers again, are we?
Yes, I want you to pick 2 numbers between 1 and 5.
3 and 5.
We're going to go 15 from the back.
Why? Don't count every single time.
5, 6, 7,
it's
8,
torture
9, 10,
to watch.
11, 12. It's going to be Carlos Sainz.
What do you think? I've got a letter in mind.
He's got to be right on the cusp of A or S.
I was thinking
surely.
Yeah.
You're going to go A.
He's been top this season.
He has been the only driver, apart from, I think the only sort of really bad weekend I can remember for Sainz was Imola.
And he's crashed at random a lot. Like, in practice and stuff, he just crashes all the time for some reason. I don't really get why.
But that's because the Ferrari's an unstable craft.
Mm.
It's a bit like you'd be amazed if you get through a day in a canoe.
But he's only just, like, he's less than 10 points off Leclerc, isn't he, at the minute? He's like
exactly, and he was ahead of him before the last couple of races. And he's the only... We've seen pretty much every other driver move to a new team this year struggle
a lot, yeah.
Carlos Sainz
on it straight away.
Next to none of that.
I think A for sure. He's had, 3 podiums? I want to say.
Monaco, Hungary,
Russia.
One more, you reckon? Russia, yes, yeah. I think, I'm happy to put Carlos Sainz in A for now. But surely, depending on who might sneak into S, I think he's been... When you consider, obviously, the fact he's coming to a new team as well, I think
he's also on the longest scoring streak of anyone at the minute.
I'm pretty certain that is true.
Yeah, it is. Last time he didn't score was France.
Yes. So, yeah, it must be. Good. Yeah, because he didn't get taken out of Hungary, did he?
No.
Right. I'm just going to let you pick who we're going to next.
Sebastian Vettel.
Should we get Sebastian Vettel? Ooh.
I'm interested to see. He's only scored points like 4 times, but he's had a bit of a dog as a car.
Now, I was gonna... Right, the problem I have here is, in this tier list...
Can you put an extra level in?
I don't know if I can. I don't think so. Not now I've started, no.
Oh, no.
No, I can. Add a row above.
Yeah, do it.
What are we going?
Just D, because I don't want to put Vettel.
So we're skipping over
put
C
in, sorry.
Right, okay. I can't type anymore.
I don't feel happy putting Vettel in pay driver, but I don't feel happy putting him in B either.
I was going to say, he's been pretty much Ricciardo energy, so does that mean Ricciardo goes down to C?
Nah, Ricciardo's got a race win, and is actually on merit.
Again, so's Esteban Ocon.
But Ocon's wasn't on merit, it was pure luck. Vettel had...
Ricciardo could have been jumped by Lando, and it was pure luck that Max and Lewis crashed into each other.
But the McLaren, he was going to finish 3rd or 4th that race anyway. Ocon was going to finish about 12th until everyone blew up.
Yeah. But McLaren, okay.
I think Vettel in C, because he scored points 5 times. But...
See, my only argument against that was the fact I'd argue Stroll has pretty much done as well as in this year.
Yeah.
They got the closest qualifying battle, I think, so far this year.
Yeah.
Of, what's it, 9-7 or 9-8?
Like that. It's very close, yeah.
But everyone will want us to put Stroll in pay driver, and Seb's been no better.
It's true. You could bin off C and put them both in pay driver, but we'll get hated.
Okay.
And Seb has had 2 podiums, effectively. Obviously, the Hungary one got disqualified.
Again, you've just said it was incredibly lucky.
Latifi almost got a podium, so yeah.
Right, okay. That I can... C seems fair enough to me. Should we just get a couple straight off the bat then? Mazepin, Formula E?
Yep.
Not really much to say there. Latifi, pay driver?
Pay driver.
Yeah.
I would argue Giovinazzi in somewhere between the two. Probably the same as Latifi. Put some respect to his name.
Exactly, yeah.
But he's been trash.
Giovinazzi as well has had a couple of decent qualifyings, hasn't he?
He's very good. He's alright at qualifying.
Immediately screwed himself and decided he's going to try and mank Carlos Sainz.
7th in Netherlands.
7th in Zandvoort.
And then immediately dropped to like 12th on lap 1.
Yeah, but to be fair, that time around, Carlos Sainz squeezed him, and then he tried to get payback at Monza, didn't he?
Yeah.
A week later. I think Gio in pay driver seems fair enough. Now, as we're going back through our back markers then, Jamie, young Michael Schumacher.
It's impossible to get a barometer on him, because like he's not done that badly. He's stuffed the car in the wall a few times, which is a bit stupid when he last. But like he's beaten his teammate pretty comfortably. He's got into Q2 twice, once on merit, once because he caused the red flag.
Yes, yeah. Because
I would argue
had their one
C.
redeeming moment of the year, didn't they? With the "I've won, but at what cost me?"
Yeah, I would argue C for Schumacher, because he's not been great, but he's not been trash either.
So we're saying he's performed as well as Sebastian Vettel this year.
Yes, that will trigger everyone. I mean, would you say pay driver?
No, because everyone will be happy those two are together.
Yeah, it's true.
I was thinking towards pay driver, but I think now you've said that to me. I think he's performed better than Latifi and Giovinazzi this year. I'd argue.
He's beaten his teammate. So.
Last of the backmarkers then, young 183.
Who?
Lil Yuki Tsunoda.
Why is he me? I'm not that short.
What?
Why did you say? Oh, I thought you were referring to Tsunoda as young 183. As what on earth?
No.
I thought you were calling me 5'2". I'm not having that.
He's older than you. How could
he's
he
a
be
day
young
older,
183?
yeah.
Exactly. He's older than you.
Tsunoda has been pretty trash.
Yes.
I would feel quite bad if he was in pay driver though. What do you think? Hello? Oh, you've put him there. Okay.
I have much less mercy than you in these situations.
So he's
hasn't
had
been good.
He's had shades of pace.
Yeah, like we said, I can't remember which podcast it was now, but like a lot of Japanese drivers, they're absolutely brilliant for 2 weekends a year.
Yeah, 3 laps a race usually.
Exactly. You're like there's so many Japanese drivers that go prime center for about 6 corners and then go back to normal. And that's basically Yuki Tsunoda at the start of every qualifying lap he's done this year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, at the end when we rearranged the rows, if we're going to do that, I think he's definitely above the other 2 in pay driver.
Yes, no, that's fair enough. We'll sort
do
that out
at the end.
at the end of the video. Right.
About big George the Muscle Russell.
George the Muscle
flexing
Russell.
on Instagram all the time.
Exactly. And to be fair, I've never understood this. Like, let's be real. If this is completely off topic, I know, but if I had a stomach like that, I would flex it on Instagram as well.
But the other 19 drivers don't. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly, because they're not as good as Russell the Hustle.
It's just, I don't know. I would at least A for Russell.
I was looking towards A.
I'd probably say.
I'm trying to think of a reason why I wouldn't put him in S though.
Yeah, because what's he done wrong, really?
Has he bottled it at any point? At a point?
I guess Imola was kind of a bottle.
Again, not really much he could have done there.
No, and he was racing a Mercedes when he bottled it, which is like, wow. It was Bottas in the wet, so tax.
And he hit Bottas on his helmet, which, let's be fair, is always worth merit points in our book.
Yeah, and obviously the almost pole position in a Williams.
The almost pole position in the Williams, then third place.
Second place.
At Russia as well.
Oh, in qualifying. Second place in the race at Belgium after 2 laps.
Yeah. He got a podium in a Williams. That is...
I would argue S.
I mean, 15 years ago. I think...
I'm trying to think, what's he done wrong?
Yeah, I think low end of S.
He's also like 15-0 against his teammate, or whatever it is, in qualifying.
Yes. Yeah, that's also true. Valtteri Bottas remains the only man to ever out-qualify him in equal machinery. Does that mean we put Bottas in S+?
Bottas, the GOAT of Formula 1.
Exactly. The people's champion. And by people, I mean 3 random people on Twitter that I'm adamant only back him for follows. Exactly. Right. Let's go old men next.
Okay, Fernando Alonso.
Yep.
I want to say B, but I like Alonso. I know you will disagree.
Well, weirdly enough, I disagree with you, but I was going to say A.
Really? What's he?
I don't know.
He's been very solid. The thing is, he's beating Ocon, and he didn't have 25 fraudulent points.
Yeah. He's been better than Ocon most of the year.
And he's got the most, like...
Not by a huge amount, often, but he has definitely been better.
He's been better than Ricciardo, hasn't he?
Exactly.
I would put him up beside.
Why I didn't want Ricciardo in B.
Put him in A.
I think he's like low-end A.
Yeah.
Low-end A material.
A Trustel plan.
So we got the Spaniards together. And let's be fair, again, Alonso is still... I mean, we've said it in about the last 4 podcasts. An absolute dick, but a very clever one at the same time.
Yeah, he's so clever. He's such a high-level performance.
He knows how to play the political game in Formula 1, and that has carried him.
Who's the next old man? Lewis Hamilton?
No.
Well, he said old men. Who else is old?
Yeah.
Oh, Kimi Raikkonen, of course.
We've literally got Kimi Raikkonen staring right at us.
I respect Kimi massively. I want to put him at least in C.
I was going to go B.
B, yeah, I think he's not been much worse than Ricciardo.
He's been better than Giovinazzi most of the year, and I still believe Ricciardo probably deserves to go down to C at this point.
I think put Raikkonen in B, because he's comfortably ahead of Giovinazzi. He's finished 11th like 5 times as well, so he could have a lot more points. And he missed 2 races for COVID.
Yes.
And we like Kimi.
Yeah. Yes.
Not that we're
we
biased
do
in
like
this
Kimi.
list at all. I mean, it's literally
No,
our
exactly.
list.
No,
So.
there's no biases here whatsoever. I mean, I like Yuki Tsunoda, and he's down in paid driver. To be fair, I might like Nicholas Latifi if we had any idea what his personality was. All he literally is Nutella man.
All he is Canadian. That's the only thing I know about him. Literally.
Exactly. And he's very good at the NBA basketball shootout they did because he's Canadian. Did you not?
Nah.
It was quite good, to be fair. Esteban Ocon throws like a 9-year-old girl in netball.
Oh, brilliant. Well,
It was just
where
the
is Ocon on this
funniest thing.
list? Where is he?
He's third.
Oh, yeah. Didn't see him
It's
there.
right there. Right. Speaking of Ocon, then, we jumping in with him, are we?
Yeah. Thing is, apart from the win, he's been so meaningless. And the win was complete fraudulence. I would argue C.
I was gonna again. I like Ricciardo in B, and then Ocon. He hasn't been as smashed by Alonso as I think everyone thought he would.
But that's a lot because of the win.
Yeah, but generally on the pace as well, it's normally
Alonso's 12
behind Alonso.
Alonso's 12 points ahead, and
yeah, so it will be 37.
and it would be
wouldn't it? Yeah,
a
fair
lot.
enough.
I would
Fair
argue
enough.
C. He's had 2 7th places, and the rest have been 9th and 10th, other than the win.
Yeah.
So
C, I'm willing to agree with.
Yeah.
Right. Sergio Perez. Let's go battle of the number 2s.
ooh. Thing is, I have more respect for Bottas than I should have. Because
so
if
do
we're
I
taking these
feel.
in tandem, if you ask the general public or Twitter, which obviously is not a good place to get your opinions from,
Yeah, I just
everyone
don't have Twitter or
would
anything
probably
anymore.
put Perez in like A or B, but they would probably put Bottas in C at the most, when realistically Bottas has done way better than Perez this season.
Yes.
Because
Not
Bottas,
way better,
but he's beating
definitely
Perez
better.
quite comfortably with a lot more podiums and a win,
Yes.
which was not as fraudulent.
Yep.
And he's
Yeah.
35 points ahead of Perez, and arguably the Red Bull's been the better car.
Yep. I completely agree with that.
I would argue.
But let's
I would argue
also. Sorry, do you mind
Perez
if
is
I
a new team.
have a-
Yeah, go
get
for
a
it.
word in? Yeah. Perez is in a new team. The Red Bull is notoriously difficult.
to get
as
your
well.
hands on. Yeah,
Yep, he has survived. We've seen how well Gasly's done this year, and Perez has done a lot better
in the Red Bull.
than
Yeah,
Gasly did in the Red Bull. I think it would be fair to put Perez and Bottas in the same tier,
yeah.
but I completely agree Bottas is better, as has been better this year.
I would argue both
So-
in B, to be honest.
I was going to say exactly the same. I think both of them in B is fair enough. So we've got the 2 Spaniards together, we've got the 2 Finns together,
Lovely.
we got the 2 Red Bull drivers that didn't sync together.
Who's next?
Right.
Stroll. He's a bit indifferent, isn't he?
I was going to say, yeah, Stroll has just somehow sort of
Yeah.
survived here for a while.
I
Don't really
think
know how.
it's hard to put him away from Vettel.
Yeah,
Because
I think
they've
I
been-
was going to say exactly the same
they've been
thing.
so
He
similar.
He is. Aston Martin is just complete C-class energy. Should do better, could do better, doesn't, no reason,
Yeah.
don't really care either.
Yeah. Unlucky in Baku.
It's-
Could have got maybe top 5 there.
Yep, yeah, no, he did do okay at Baku, and he's been more consistent than Seb. He
Scored
more
points on a more
often.
regular basis for sure. Just less
He's just
points.
been a bit unlucky. Yeah.
'Cause his
exactly,
best has been a
exactly.
7th in Italy.
Yes.
And a load of 8ths
yeah.
and 9th and 10th, whereas Seb had like a 5th and a 2nd. So
Right, that's fair enough. Charles Leclerc.
he's really good. He's on the.
When he's got prime Japanese driver energy though.
He does.
He goes out and centre for 4 corners and then bottles it.
But more recently, he's been top.
I think he's certainly understood that Carlos Sainz has done well this year and has upped his game more recently.
Yeah, because he's had like 5 4th places this year or something. It's
That
been a
would
lot.
seem about right.
No, he's had 6 and 3 in the last 4 races as well. And 2 pole positions. I think he's been better than Sainz, but marginally.
He's been less consistent, and of course we're putting new team. Not new team tax.
But like Leclerc has been much closer to winning races multiple times than Sainz has, and in that car
Yep,
you should be
that's
nowhere
also
near winning
fair.
races.
Should have probably won Monaco.
Yep. Should have won.
Could have won
Silverstone.
a Silverstone. Could have, not
yeah.
should have, because he had reliability issues towards the end.
Yeah, he
didn't
did. And Lewis was just on a different level that day once he took out Max.
Hamilton just went full Silverstone mode. I think Leclerc is still the better all-rounder than Sainz.
I think he's definitely got more potential, more of a world champion material,
exactly.
for sure. I think
he's definitely still the number one in that team, but I wouldn't argue he's
I don't think
been
he's been
any
S.
better.
I would put A, but
No,
above
I'd say
Sainz.
A. I think he's A material,
Yeah.
to be honest. Right.
I can't believe we've got Alonso in A. What's going on?
I know. I'm now looking at that. I just feel like everyone in B needs to go down to C, and Alonso needs to go B by himself, and then most of C down again. We just need more split here, don't we? Right. Let's just go through these last four then. Lando Norris.
Surely S.
Surely
He's
yes.
been one of the drivers of the
Completely
year.
agree. Could have had 3 wins now. Let's not forget that as well.
So he could have won.
Things gone his way.
Well,
Should
have
have
won
got
Italy,
pole at Belgium.
and then it would have been the win. Yeah, should have
Yeah,
won Italy.
should have
really,
won Belgium. Should have won Italy.
and should have won Russia.
should
That would have
have
been
won
3
Russia.
wins in 4 races. That'd have been crazy.
Exactly. It was insane that little spree McLaren went on
Yeah.
for about 4 weekends, and now Ferrari just a better again.
Yeah, but I think
It's
Lando's been performing so well. Like most of the year, he's been third in the championship, which is crazy. When
Yes.
like the Mercedes and Red Bull are so much better cars.
exactly. He's been
Top.
arguably the most consistent driver of the year. Arguably,
Consistently high performing. Yeah,
yeah.
and he's still
Yeah.
well within the shout of getting at least 4th in the championship, maybe 3rd if he gets a bit of a run going again.
I think if Mercedes and Red Bull really start tripping over each other, in
Yeah,
the
because
final
he's a
few
point
races,
behind Perez, and he's 36 points behind Bottas.
Yeah, so definitely still potential there.
But definitely
yeah, no, Lando
yes.
Norris is
This
definitely
looks
been
like
S material
such
this year.
British bias. I've just realised.
But the problem, this is what I don't understand with F1 Twitter, is they talk about all this British bias at the moment.
But the 3
and I
British drivers are actually all really good. That's the thing.
have done, because I think the problem is where we've got such a competitive young scene here in the UK for it, because it is completely in our history. Naturally, the ones that are even going to get chances in like European Formula
They
3
have
and
to be
stuff because
top
they've done well in the
drivers,
British circuit have to be world class talents.
I think back in the day when you had like people bigging up Coulthard and Davidson as best on the grid, and fair play at British bias, but they're all actually really good. I mean, Coulthard.
But
is
even
good.
then, even when they talk about like British bias on like the F1 Twitter account and stuff like that, it's because we're such a big Liberty Media are a marketing company.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing to get clicks. That's
course
why
they're gonna
they
big up the
focus on the
British
British
drivers,
driver. Exactly. We're the biggest Formula 1 market in the world still. Of course they're going to big it up to us and play to the people that we know and understand. Plus, let's be fair, Lando and George have marketed themselves really
super
well in the sport as
yeah.
well. There has been a lot of work gone behind the scenes that those two are well aware of what they've done. Because let's be fair, Charles Leclerc could be in that same group, but isn't quite.
Isn't quite
And
as
I
marketable.
don't think Albon would have probably had as big a chance to come back if it wasn't for being mates with George and
Yeah.
Lando. I
Because
think he deserves to come back,
British media
but
just
I
love
don't
him,
think. Yeah, because he's been with those two,
yeah, pretty
and
much.
they've kind of piggybacked him. Right. Controversially, then, I only think Hamilton is worthy of A.
I
this
agree
year.
with you.
But because
He's made so many mistakes.
it's Hamilton. He hasn't made so many mistakes, but the thing, we're so used to a Lewis Hamilton that is
Relentless.
near perfect.
And he's only won 5 races, and 3 of them are in the first 4.
But he's been consistent.
He has
a
been
lot
very
here as well.
consistent.
This is the problem, isn't it, with Lewis Hamilton? On the one hand, based on his standards, not the best year in the world. On the other hand, he's going up against arguably the fastest driver in Formula 1 right now, in a faster car, and is still right there able to take the World Championship. If that was anyone else, this would be
Yeah.
like the most
But
S-class
Hamilton's
year of all time.
Hamilton's held himself to such high standards over the last, especially the last 4 years,
Yeah.
that this year has been a bit of a dip. With only 5 wins, a lot of mistakes, a lot of, Imola was a big mistake he got away with, Baku was a big mistake.
Imola was difficult, I remember, because Russell forced him offline.
Then at Austria,
Don't get me wrong, should have judged it better.
Austria
but
he
still.
didn't drive very well. Came behind Lando and Bottas. Again in Monaco, didn't drive very well at all.
Yeah, Monaco just was really odd, wasn't it?
Hungary
Just
made a
an odd-
mistake by
odd
staying
weekend.
out.
That, again, was a difficult one that I don't think you could put the whole blame on him.
And then, yeah, Turkey was a bit of an off weekend as well. But obviously he had the penalty, so without that, he would have got pole. And
again,
won.
You can't really put that all on him either.
But I would argue he's still been very good. Obviously his pace is incredible. But by Lewis Hamilton standards, it has been a slightly off year with only 5 wins.
It's just brake magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, funny enough, talking about brake magic, I saw a hilarious tweet this week from someone claiming that they don't believe in the brake magic conspiracy because he didn't lock up at every other corner on that final lap.
Yeah, because he turned the switch
off. Do that
off.
at turn 1 and then turn it off. How stupid can people be?
That's incredible.
You don't lock up like that to turn 1 and go, no, I'm not going to cheat.
Nothing's wrong with my brakes,
no. Right. Pierre Gasly.
S. Don't care.
S. Don't care? I think top of A, bottom of S.
He's been amazing.
Fair enough. Yep.
To be able to... Like, the problem is because the top 4 teams have had so much more pace the majority of the year than everyone else. The fact that he's to be mixing it with them in the championship
every single week. Yeah.
And he's qualified 6th about 18 times.
Has had a couple of rough weekends though.
Yeah, that's true. But the podium in Baku.
The podium in Baku again. Sebastian Vettel got one there. So yeah.
Should have had pole in Baku if Tsunoda gave him slipstream.
Eh?
Do you not remember when the Toro Rossos went out on their own in the middle of the session? Gasly was purple in sector 2, and then Tsunoda didn't give him slipstream.
I don't remember. I
do remember that, and I'm still annoyed.
Okay. Okay, that's right. Okay, I'm just thinking.
4th in Zandvoort. Bahrain was poor.
Just drove into the back of Ricciardo. Again, it's very difficult, isn't it? Because we've just looked at Hamilton and have gone, there's sort of been one defining mistake that pushed him down to A. And then we'll look at Gasly and go, it's fine.
Yeah, but we like Gasly here.
I mean, you've always been on the Gasly hype train, and I've been worried looking back at myself this year. Like, the PG-10 merch is becoming more enticing.
Oh, yeah. Get on it.
Yeah, get on that PG-10 merchandise, do I just like the AlphaTauri colours as well, at the end of the day. I think... Has he been on the same level as Lando Norris and George Russell this year?
I don't see why not.
British bias. No, British bias, that's fair enough.
Yeah, we're British and French bias.
Exactly, yeah, we're all about the Anglo relations here.
Max Verstappen.
Right, final one then.
Is there a question?
Not really.
Surely he's got to be top of S. He's been the best driver in the sport.
He's got to be Formula 3.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, no, I mean, Max has... I think... A lot of people say he's finished in the top 2 every race, apart from ones that have been no fault of his own. A couple of mistakes on his behalf this year.
You could argue Italy is a mistake, for sure.
I'd argue Italy is a mistake, and I'd argue still could have probably won Silverstone.
That's actually true. He's been crazy good. I didn't know that. Like, top 2 every race apart from Baku, which wasn't his fault. Silverstone, which was probably a racing incident. Hungary, which got taken out. And Italy, which was maybe his fault.
Yeah, when you remember as well, Silverstone and Monza, had he been patient.
Oh, wow. That's my housemates outside just shouting.
Yeah, when you consider, obviously, Verstappen, Silverstone and the Monza, I completely forgot what the Italian Grand Prix track was called then. He could have probably still got top 2 there and he'd been a bit more patient and had... Well, he wouldn't have had an even bigger... Well, he would still have a bigger lead, wouldn't he, in the championship?
If Silverstone, yeah.
Course, yeah, and obviously Monza wouldn't have been the deficit the other way.
Yeah.
But again, this is the weird thing with these tier lists, isn't it? Because we've then marked Hamilton down for it, but we've still put Verstappen there.
But he's been relentless.
He hasn't had many off weekends,
has he? At all.
And I think that's fair. Are we happy then with the general rankings?
I'm happy.
Are we going to
go
through and put them in a proper order?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right. S tier then. Who are we saying has been the best driver of the year?
Surely Max.
I'm willing to agree with that. Any other movement? I would argue Lando's been better than George.
I can't hear a thing because my housemates are shouting outside, sorry.
I put George ahead of... I put Lando ahead of George.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Those probably that order. Do you think?
Is that order fair with you?
Yeah, I think so.
Straight away,
Hamilton's
I
got to
want
be
to
top
put
of
Hamilton
A.
top of A. Exactly.
Leclerc's got to be second, in my opinion.
Really? I would say Sainz second.
Nah, Leclerc's been
I'd
way
go
unluckier, and he's
like
still ahead
that.
of him. Nah, Leclerc's beating Sainz, and I know it's a new car and stuff. Leclerc's
Okay.
6.5
okay.
6.5 points ahead of Sainz, and lost 25 out of no fault of his own in Monaco.
Okay. I'll allow that then. Is
And
that fair then?
I think Alonso bottom of that's fair, yeah.
Yep. I want to immediately put
Bottas top is good.
Perez, top 2
Yep,
there.
I agree with that.
Is that fair now?
Yep. I would.
Oh, here we go. This one's interesting.
That is interesting, actually. I think Ocon has won a race, but I don't really rate any of them, to be fair.
Yeah, they're like we said, they're all just so mid, aren't they?
Yeah.
See, we can't really change, but like it doesn't really matter whichever order we put them in there, does it? You could put any of them at the top.
Yeah.
And, like,
I think because Ocon's got
I think
a
as
win,
long as-
maybe put him first.
yeah, Ocon's got a dub this year.
I'd probably argue Vettel's been slightly better than Stroll, with the peaks have been higher.
Yeah.
And maybe
we going-
Mick last because he's crashed a bit, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. And Sonoda's got to be top of pay
driver.
driver.
Yeah, that's fair. I was going to do that.
And then I'd argue Latifi then Gio, because Gio has been
Yeah.
so terrible. And obviously
We've
Mazepin.
actually kept this, can we say as well, pretty evenly split
Yeah.
across the board. So we're saying then, our F1 2021 driver order: Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Russell, Gasly, Hamilton, Leclerc, Sainz, Alonso, Bottas, Perez, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Ocon, Vettel, Stroll, Schumacher, Tsunoda, Latifi, Gio, and Nikita Mazepin.
I think that's actually really good. I'm surprised we kept it so
I
concise.
think that's pretty good. I mean, we've put 4-time Formula 1 World Champion Sebastian Vettel as the 14th best driver of the year.
Yeah, but he's been pretty average, hasn't he?
Which, when you say it like that, seems really bad. But
And
I
Kimi
think that's
Raikkonen's
fair.
got 5 points ahead of him.
yeah, Kimi Raikkonen. I can't work out if Kimi's really up about where he should be or really much lower. Do you reckon Kimi should be top of C?
No, I like him where he is. It makes a perfect square as well. It's all good.
It doesn't make a perfect
Well,
square, does it?
if you take out pay drive from Formula E.
Exactly. To be honest, I wouldn't want to see Mazepin in Formula E either.
No. Take
Should
him
we
to
just
like...
go...
what's that one that Rosberg and Hamilton do?
No, we're going back to the motherland.
Oh, great. I was thinking, what's it? Extreme E or whatever it is.
Should we put him in the gulag?
I've broken Stalin's house. Right.
Dear
We should
me.
end this before
But,
it goes off the rails.
yeah, I think, genuinely, I think we've done
I think we smashed it.
pretty well there. I can't look at any driver on that list and make a convincing argument they should be anywhere wildly different to where they are.
Yeah. I think we've done really well.
Is that fair? I think we have. I think we should pat ourselves on the back today, Jamie. I think we've done really well. But yeah, let us know down in the comments below your thoughts and feelings then of this tier list, of course, here in F1 2021. Jamie and I are pretty happy with that. I'm sure we're going to get absolutely harassed in the comments down below because Sebastian
fans
Vettel
come
shouldn't
at
be
us.
that low. Lando Norris and George Russell are British bias, put them in pay driver tier and all this, that and the other. Ricciardo's Australian and funny, so he should be at the top. And how dare you put Silent Boy Kimi Raikkonen in anything less than his own split called Gimme Ice Cream at the top. But yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, do make sure to leave a like and get yourself subscribed. Jamie, anything to add before we finish?
Max is winning Mexico by a lap. He's lapping everyone.
He's going to lap everyone, is
Yeah.
he? Worryingly, I wouldn't even be too surprised.
If Perez
I
retires,
won
it
the
could
Coleman
happen.
next Monday. Oh, right. Perez podium. I will
Oh
see it
yeah, for
happen.
sure. That's given.
Surely Perez can't bottle it this weekend. I beg.
He's had 2 in a row.
I
Make
beg.
it 3.
What?
He's had 2 podiums in a row. Might as well
He
make
has,
it 3.
hasn't he? Yeah, it's a very good point. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I personally want to say thank you as well for 2K on TikTok. Don't know how the app works, but thank you very much
That's
for
such
that
an
as well.
irrelevant thing to say, but sure.
It's completely relevant, Jamie. It's all part of the 212
Dynasty.
growth and empire. Exactly. One day these podcasts will be on TikTok.
Oh, I can't wait.
I really hope not. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back next week ready to review the Mexican Grand Prix.